bet I drill a clean hole in somebody today.
Fighting game events have been going on for a very, very long time. And since the tournaments, since the birth of Evo and Combo Breaker and CEO, there has always been this lingering discussion around how do we set up these tournaments? How do we set up the brackets? Who fights who? Is it random? Is it true random? Or do we handpick places for players to go so we can make the tournament as interesting as possible? For example, what I mean by this is what tournaments typically do is they separate teammates. Let's say if Arsenal and Ash and Atif Butt, the two Pakistani players, both go to Evo Vegas. They're the only two. The Evo tournament organizers will put those two as far away from one another when setting up the tournament so that they don't knock each other out. And a lot of players love this idea. You don't want to travel all the way across the world and then get beat by someone you always play every single day. If you do face them, you want it to be at least like top 32, top 8, somewhere around there. And they basically do this for teammates, for people in the same regions, and also, and here's kind of what's the most controversial part, they do it for highly anticipated matches. They also do the same thing for Arsenal and Knee. They place them as far away as possible so when they do eventually meet, it will be grand finals. Now, a lot of people don't like this because it is a sort of rigging the tournament. You're trying to get the best outcome possible for the sake of spectacle, for entertainment. Now, while a lot of people love that idea because, hey, you know, we all want to see Knee versus Arsenal in grand finals, but think about all the other players who are getting stepped on or crawled over in the process. Now, the counter argument to this is if you're good, you'll just battle your way through. I mean, if you think about it, when Arsenal and Ash first showed up back in like 2018, I believe, or 2019, Evo Japan, when he showed up, he had no name. He had no fame. They put him in a crazy bracket. He had to battle through so many players before they even considered putting him on the stage. So he showed, and many players showed in the past, that it is possible. No matter how the brackets is set up, if you are truly skilled, if you're truly talented, you can not only make it all the way through, but win. So is the tournament rigging a real issue, or is it not really a issue at all? The reason why I asked this question is one, because the prize money that's being on the line is getting higher and higher and higher. Street Fighter, they're putting up $1 million almost every year now, at least 2 years in a row. Tekken 8, I still don't think they announced how much money they're giving for their Tekken World Tour Finals. Maybe they'll do it at Evo Vegas, but so far, I have not seen a dollar amount anywhere. With the more money that's on the line, you would assume that players care more about the details. Yes, first place is $1 million and only one person can get that. This top 8, you still are walking away with multiple thousands of dollars. You know, coming in the top 8 is still incredible. But the second reason why I'm having these ideas is because we recently had a situation where players are accusing a single tournament organizer of rigging the whole entire event. Now, here's what's interesting. This tournament organizer was also in the tournament, and the players are saying that the tournament organizer made their path to first place easier than everyone else. Okay, I'm setting up this tournament. Let me make sure I don't put this person here, that person here, put a bunch of scrubs in my pools. Is that what happened? I don't know. Let's read the tweet. This person says, "This is probably the worst tournament I've been to in a long time. People definitely do not know how to run events. From the seating to the schedule, productivity to advertisement, and the biggest thing that I'm annoyed about is that they didn't tell us it's on PC. This is another thing that needs to be specified, and I do remember in the past, this is something that came up with Tekken a lot. Like JDCR was familiar with playing on PC, and then at the last second they said it was like PS4, and then he got completely swept in the tournament because when you're at that caliber of the player, the details matter, from the monitors to the console to the platform, everything. It goes on to say, bro seeded himself first seed and put the rest of the players on the other side. Why is this man in top 8 winners when he's never gotten that before? Yikes. 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 For those of you who don't know, seeded is basically like you're seating the players. player 1 sit here, player 2000 go sit all the way over there, right? So this person put them in the seat 1, and that's the thing too, seat 1, that seems intentional. That seems like I want to put myself right here, and then let me fill in the gaps here and there, and then everyone's put them all the way, like I said, Arsenal on one side, need the other side. And this person basically, from what they're saying, gave themselves a free path all the way to top 8. That's crazy. The final tweet says, never let EMP Obama run tournaments. Now, there's a lot of people who also played in this tournament and was agreeing with this, that this is a thing that this person did and it happened. I took some screenshots of the bracket. If you guys recognize some of these names, maybe you can identify it as well. You can't make it more obvious than that. Bro tried their hardest to get first place, and they manipulated those brackets to do it. Now, with all of this criticism that was stacking up, this person, they tried to give a little bit of clarity, and I respect them for it. It says, last night was a lot of fun, and District EDC, that's basically the people who ran the tournament, provided a great staff to help me run Marvel. I like to address some issues that people had tonight so we can improve the quality of our events going forward. Now, this person said that originally they were setting up the brackets as they always do. Players go there, but then all of a sudden there was a huge fluctuation of latecomers showing up. And when all those people showed up, they just had to start throwing people everywhere. And in all the chaos, they were moved to the first seed. And everyone else just ended up where they ended up. And then eventually the cutoff time came and there was no more changes that could be made. What was done, what happened, and the tournament would go on to take place. Now, this person also acknowledged that in the past, people weren't against TOs entering. And I think this is for all tournaments. For example, in CEO, the person who runs that is Jabali, and Jabali always enters in the tournaments. So this is something that's kind of common where TOs are allowed to participate. Even commentators can participate. Everyone can. It's not some foreign concept. But as a result of this controversy, they are creating a new rule going forward where TOs will not be able to enter. Now that's pretty crazy. I mean, you have to do that. Like, it's unfortunate, but I do understand, like, you have to do that to protect the competitive integrity. Something like this can happen. And like I said earlier, when you're putting more and more money on the line, the bigger the events, the bigger the outcry. Tournament organizers not being allowed to compete anymore. I mean, it sucks, but I do understand, because like, if you want your players to show up and if you want to protect the competitive integrity, you don't want people to think you're setting up a tournament, then rigging that tournament so you can win your own tournament kind of thing. I do understand that drastic measures needs to be taken to maintain that player trust, because a lot of these events, they won't survive without that dedicated player base. And then as for the PC, this is kind of out of their hands, like, truthfully. They work with District E Gaming, and District E Gaming has a lot of just PCs. That's what they do, right? Like, I was looking at their profile, and they host tournaments for many PC exclusive games. Comment down below your ideas, but for now, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.